welcome to another episode of Asexualized, my asexual. This is a place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual, and I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the great big subscribe button down below, right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live like now, post a new video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you're enjoying the content as we go along. If you don't know who I am, I'm Sandra Bellamy, author of this beautiful book, 47 asexual stories. It's called Asexual Perspectives, 47 asexual stories, love, life and sex, a celebration of asexual diversity. I'm also the founder of asexualise.com and the founder of Asexualise Academy. Well, welcome to tonight's episode. This episode is especially for all those asexuals who do want to be more romantic. Now, you might think this video is just aimed at people who are already romantic, but you'd be wrong, because people are already romantic. Do they really need to know how to be more romantic? Well, some of them want to, some of them do because they feel they're not romantic enough. But there are people who are asexual who do want to be in romantic relationships despite not being romantic themselves, and those people also need a helping hand on how to be more romantic. Now, just like anything in life, romance is a skill that you can learn. It's not something that comes naturally to everyone. So some asexuals, as we know, even though we lack sexual attraction as our sexual orientation, we have a lack of sexual attraction. Some asexuals, as you know, will participate in sex. Other asexuals, but even though we don't experience sexual attraction, other asexuals who don't experience any romantic attraction may still participate in a romantic relationship, especially if someone's, for example, a coupé romantic. A coupé romantic is someone who's romantically loving the idea of romance. What can I say? They're not a romantic person. They're on an aromantic asexual, so they're on the spectrum of asexuality, which is the lack of romantic attraction as well as the lack of sexual attraction. But with a coupé romantic, they don't experience any romantic attraction themselves, but they strongly desire a romantic relationship still. And so this video is very helpful for anyone in that situation. Obviously, some aromantics do end up being in a relationship with a romantic person, you know, just like an asexual would end up being sometimes with a sexual person. Some aromantic asexuals who do want a relationship, because not every aromantic person doesn't, they could be involved in a relationship with someone who's romantic, although it's not something that comes naturally. So romance is a skill that can be learned. So when I was looking in the dictionary just now about what they've got for romantic, they've got conducive or characterized by the expression of love. For example, a romantic candlelit dinner. Of a person readily demonstrating feelings of love. He's very handsome, so romantic. Now, this was very interesting. Relating to love or to sexual relationships. After their romantic relationship ended, they became great friends. Her romantic adventures, romantic fiction. Now, you see, that's where society is very different. You know, society thinks that sex and romance go together, right? But we know on the split attraction model as asexuals that we separate sexual attraction from romantic attraction. They are two separate things, but they can go together as well. So in terms of asexuality, you know, those who are on the more romantic end of the asexual spectrum, or the ones who desire a romantic relationship, you know, you need some skills, right? You need to kind of know how to be more romantic, because it might not come naturally to you. So, and you know, we can still have loving, long-lasting, healthy relationships without sex. And when they say after their romantic relationship ended, they became great friends, that's kind of very heteronormative attitude, you know? They get into a relationship first, then they become friends afterwards, but that's not actually the recipe for a long-lasting, loving, healthy relationship. A long-lasting, loving, healthy relationship recipe is being friends first. It's getting to know each other as friends first, and then it developing into romance later. Obviously, as someone who's hyper-romantic myself, I do end up sometimes getting into relationships very quickly because I get carried away in all the romance. So romance for me is the feeling of love. And it's the expression of love in a very dramatic way. That's what romantic love is for me, it's like romance to me is like romantic love. It's like romance on a huge scale. It's like dramatized. So as a hyper romantic, obviously I'm very specialized in romance. So how to be romantic if you're not naturally romantic is you can actually recognize things in yourself that would be considered as romantic by someone who's romantic, even if you're not. So for example, like it did say in the dictionary definition, you know, you can have a candlelit dinner. A candlelit dinner is more romantic than just an ordinary dinner because you've put more time, energy, and effort into it. And the candles are pretty. You know, they've got kind of a feminine, soft vibe to them, which is kind of a romantic vibe, you know. So I think, you know, that's quite nice, you know, like lots of things can be romantic. So I think that if you go to a firework display together and you see the pretty colours, you know, that's romantic. One of the theme parks in the UK, they have a ride called Professor Bubbleworks, which is in Chessington theme park, Chessington World of Adventures. And what happens is you go through this like tunnel of fountains, and all the fountains come over your head. And when they come over your head, they're water fountains, and they're all different colours, and the water comes down all over you. And obviously if you're with a person that you have romantic love feelings for or feel love for, then it makes it feel romantic because it's a setting. So romance is about the feelings you have at the time. It's about the setting, you know, the environment, the scenery. It's about what you say to a person and what you do with a person. So it kind of incorporates all the senses, the feeling, the touching, the listening, the smelling, the hearing, the environment, the internal environment, the external environment. So your internal environment is your feelings, you know, the romantic feelings might be butterflies in the tummy, might be like feeling cute and cuddly, might be feeling loved up, might be feeling like particularly like really, really immense caringness and towards the other person, and that you feel that you want to speak to them all the time. You feel like they're amazing, that they're great company to be with, that there's just something really special about that person. That's where, you know, like the feeling of romance is when you feel there's just something so special about a person, and you want to kiss them, you want to cuddle them, you want to hold hands with them, you want to just spend your life with them, your time with them. Obviously you do want to see other people as well, but you know what, they're on your mind like day in, day out. When you wake up in the morning, when you go to bed at night, throughout the day, you're thinking about them, they're on your mind, you know. And some of the ways you can be romantic if you're not actually excuse me, I'm having some water. If you're not actually with a person in person, so like it's a more long distance relationship, you keep the romance alive by having that connection all the time, the conversation. So when you're texting, for example, in the morning, in the evening, in the daytime, you know, like how good morning, honey, you know, hope you have a great day. And then throughout the day, how's your day going? And at night, you know, how's your day been? You know, remember to say things like I love you. You should be stickering, you know, you use those little emojis and those stickers with hearts on and all that, kisses. You should be putting hearts, kisses, hugs to be more romantic. So a friend, you wouldn't, well, these days some people put love, hugs and kisses onto all their friends, but years ago it was just be reserved for the person you're romantic with. So when you're romantic with someone, right, you put emojis, and you're sending love hearts to them, you're sending kisses, you're sending hugs, you're expressing your love and affection through pictures. That's what you're doing, and it's very visual. And you know, another thing you can do together in a long distance relationship is you can share love songs with each other. So you can say, this is my favorite love song, and send it to the other person, or I was thinking of you, this song made me think of you, and it's a love song, you know. So you share love songs together, which make you feel more romantic. You can share movies together. Some people who have long distance relationships will literally watch a movie together. They'll be like Skyping each other and watching a movie at the same time, the same movie, and start at the same time. So you have that feeling of closeness, and that's part of romance as well. It's feeling close to that person even when they're apart from you. So, you know, if I was in my ideal romantic relationship, you know, the guy would be messaging me in the morning, be messaging me in the day to see how my day was going, messaging me good night, sweet dreams in the evening or night. You know, if he's going out with his mates, he'd just be like, I'm going out with my mates, I love you, miss you. Speak to you soon. He'd be wanting to Skype date me, you know, be wanting to go on Skype with me and phone me, you know, that close contact, and in person, you know, wanting to kiss, cuddle me, hold my hand. And to me, I like public displays of affection as well. And public displays of affection are romantic. They're a romantic gesture because they do let other people see you. You know, you're very vulnerable because you're expressing your love and feelings for that person, but to the wider world, and that puts you in a more vulnerable position, but it shows you're proud of the person. It's really romantic because it's like you don't care what people think. All you care about is expressing your love and feelings for the person you're with, and everyone else doesn't matter. It's just you and them, and you like can take on the world together. And so that's a very romantic attitude, you know. It's like you two against the world, or I don't like the word against, because like you two vibing with the world, you two expressing your love to the world is a much better way of putting it, you know. And so, like, I personally think pretty much everything's romantic, even when I'm going out myself. So if I self date and like go to, you know, you can be more romantic with yourself. That's something I didn't really say, did I, at the beginning of this video? You don't have to be in a relationship. You can be more romantic with yourself. You know, you can buy yourself flowers, buy yourself chocolates if you can eat chocolates, buy yourself sugar-free ice cream, allergy-free ice cream, you know, take yourself out on dates, movies. I absolutely love going to the cinema. It's so romantic. And so I love the whole feeling of magic and wonder, and that's part of romance, of the feeling of magic and wonder, of pretty lights. And like I had this on my video at the beginning, you know, things like this are so romantic because they're expressing love in a very visual way. And with this, you know, it's all sparkly, so it feels all really nice, cute and cuddly to me. And I think that's a big thing with romance as well. It's all about being cute and cuddly together, being going, oh, I miss you, I love you, honey, how you doing today? And you know, I believe my asexual soulmate's out there. He will find me, and then we can be very cute, cuddly, loved up and romantic with each other. It's going to be amazing. Absolutely amazing. I believe he's out there. I know he's out there. And he will find me. Yeah. He's with me now in spirit, so that's great. And he will be with me in person, hopefully, very soon. So yeah, I just, you know, it's just great to feel loved up. But when you're single, just feel loved up with yourself, you know. Romancing yourself is all about taking yourself out on dates and being very specific. So if I was just grabbing lunch somewhere because I'm hungry, that's not me being romantic. That's just me fulfilling a need, right? Being romantic with yourself and taking yourself on dates is intentional. You stick it on your calendar. You make time for yourself. You go out of your way. You can dress up if you want, you know. So make an effort to really, you know, like be attractive for yourself. And a lot of positive self-talk, you know, with romance, you know, you can tell yourself, you know, I'm gorgeous, I'm beautiful, I'm amazing, I'm special, I love spending time with you. You can say all this stuff to yourself. So this is the type of thing you would be saying if you were in a romantic relationship. You'd be saying to the person, I think you look very beautiful. I think you look very cute. Oh, you're so cuddly. I love you. You know, you could even say, I love your skin. It's beautiful. You know, I love your hair, I love your eyes. So paying compliments is a very romantic thing. It's a romantic gesture. You're paying someone compliments about what you like about them, about the way they touch you, about the way you feel in their company, about, you know, just being in their presence. And you can feel like this magic, and you feel like this powerful sort of energy. And, you know, it's both like really magical when you're with that person. It's like you're so in love with them, and it just feels great, you know. Once you have the right person who loves you back, it's just incredible feeling, you know. If you need two people really who love each other the same way, who like to be romantic with each other like the same way, who really want to be in each other's lives, who want to care for each other, cuddle each other, spend time together. You know, some people like cuddling, some people like kissing, some asexuals prefer lots of cuddling, not much kissing. I love more kissing than cuddling. They kind of go hand in hand. But you know, but it's like, you know, if it's raining, for example, and you're going for a walk in the rain together, that's romantic, because it's like the outside world is all blustery and miserable, but you two inside your hearts are feeling amazing. It's that contrast between the amazingly good feeling you feel inside your body and around each other with the outside world and the sort of bad weather elements, if you know what I mean. So it's contrast with good with bad, if you know what I mean. Although rain isn't bad, it's a natural thing. So, you know, but it's contrasting the sort of more harsher weather with your soft feelings for each other. So that's how it becomes romantic. And it's like, you know, if for example, if a guy gives his coat to me when I'm really, really cold, that's a romantic gesture. So you can do romantic gestures. It doesn't have to be the guy doing it. It's just traditionally the guy, you know. You can pull your chair out for the other person to sit down. You can hold the door open for them. You can help them on with their coat. You can help them off with their coat, you know. So when you kind of exaggerate taking care of someone, you make a bigger deal out of it, you do more effort, more energy, that is romantic. It's a romantic gesture. You're going out of your way to put time, energy, and effort into doing something more than you would usually do for the average person. So this is how it becomes romantic rather than just a mate scenario. Like mates, really, you just, like most mates, they just go out for food. They just sit down and chat. If it's two people who are romantic together, they will be walking into the venue, holding hands, smiling at each other, probably saying, I love you. They'll be, you know, they'll be sitting down at the table together. They'll be holding hands across the table. Might even be playing footsie under the table if they're being a bit naughty. I mean, footsie in with feet, not with foot in genital areas like some sexuals do, you know, actually touching each other's toes and stuff, which can be good fun. You know, you might be looking at the person and smiling at them and just brimming with joy that you're just in their company. You're just feeling so great to be with them and you just love them to bits. Do you see what I mean? So it's all the gestures, the romance, the physical contact, the emotions, the feelings involved, and this is how you become more and more romantic. So an aromantic person, for example, an aromantic asexual person, the way they are naturally romantic is with the people they consider just their friends, even their close friends in particular. They message them a lot more. Yes, some aromantic asexuals, they message people daily, their friends, you know. That is a romantic thing usually. That's what I would consider romantic, you know. They would consider it as just being a close and good friend to someone. So, you know what I mean? But that's how, you know, I could think an aromantic is romantic towards me, you know? If an aromantic asexual guy decides to be more extra kind and caring, maybe by cooking for me, that would be a romantic gesture for me because I hate cooking. He'd be taking the time, energy, and effort to do something that makes me happy that I don't like doing. So that's a great thing. You know, if the aromantic asexual was pursuing me, like, well, it seemed like they were pursuing me, you know, like they were like morning, day, night, and they were saying sweet dreams that were in my life a lot more often, you know, that would be romantic to me. I mean, I can be romantic over a lot of things, you know. I like very intelligent conversation. I'm, as well as being as well as being asexual, I'm sapio-asexual, meaning I'm intelligently attracted to guys. So if a guy starts talking to me about website coding, for example, which I find very stimulating, and I'm holding his hand, I'm looking into his eyes and I'm smiling, I'm finding it really romantic because it's like intense conversation that I'm really gripped in, something that I find fascinating. And because of that feeling, it's making me feel more romantic towards him, if that makes sense. And I'm saying him because I'm only attracted to him. So do you understand what I mean? It's just like what you say, what you do, the environment, the effort you put in, the words you say, the visual stuff you do, the touching, the like even like if it's a loving, isn't it? If someone's had a bad day, to just put your arm on their shoulder, like you would do that to a friend, right? But obviously, if a person's romantic and you're doing this, especially, you would do it longer usually. So a partner rather than a friend, you would normally do it for longer. You see, you'd slide it like that because you'd really want them to feel the warmth of your hand and to feel you. So, you know, that then becomes more romantic. Like if I go out to theme parks, zoos, aquariums and stuff like that, I feel romantic when I'm going out with myself to them because it's somewhere that I enjoy. I feel euphoric. I feel elated. I feel like I'm taking myself out on a date. So I'm dating myself. And, you know, it's those type of things that I would do in a relationship that I do by myself. So to me, it's hugely romantic. you know. And if I think things look cute and cuddly, like maybe a cuddly toy, so if a guy bought me a cuddly toy and I thought the cuddly toy was cute and cuddly, or you had a heart or something, that would be romantic. If it was from a guy, it'd be romantic, because it'd be like, well, you know, it's a heart. A love heart is usually classed as romantic, so it would be really romantic and sweet, you know. Hugs, kisses, cuddles, hearts, love, all that type of thing is very romantic. Holding hands is romantic, you know. And just wanting to spend a lot of time with that person, that's hugely romantic. The feeling you have when you're just with that right person and you just get each other and you just click and you just want to spend quality time together, and you're relaxed in each other's companies, and you know, you could be in each other's arms just lying there, and you could just be another thing to do is stroke their hair. That's a very romantic gesture. If you're stroking the person's hair like this, especially if you're looking into their eyes, you know, you stroke their hair like this, it feels really good. You know, stroking's very romantic. You can do it to their arm as well, you know, so it feels beautiful. Just stroke their arm really gently, so you kind of like can treat them a bit like a baby when they're in your arms. Guys like this too. They like guys like your hand put through their hair as well, not just women. You know, and you can do cute and cuddly things, like you can nuzzle into their hair. Guys like nuzzling into women's breasts usually, and that's a cross between sexual and romantic. So yeah, it's you know, you can, you know, be in their arms, a feeling of security and warmth and cherishing that person, you know. It's just beautiful. It just feels so good. And so, you know, there's so much to take into consideration for being romantic. I mean, I'm one of the most romantic people I know. You know, if I'm with a guy, I like to kiss him all the time throughout the day whenever I'm with him, like not 24/7, but nearly 24/7. Like, you know, if I'm going shopping, it's like, I love you, darling. You know, like one thing that's quite romantic as well is if you're getting shopping together, you put your hand over theirs when you're carrying the basket, so you're still connected to them. So like your hand's on top of theirs, so you're like holding the basket at the same time as them. That's really romantic. Or a shopping trolley. You know, it's like I find it when his hands are intertwined with my hands, that's very romantic, because I like to feel connected to my guy all the time. So I like to physically connect with him by holding hands or kissing him or being sort of like in his arms. I like that a lot. It's like the togetherness, the oneness. I like it if we're apart, for him to be messaging me every day throughout the day, so I know, you know, I'm thinking he's the first thing I'm the first thing he thinks of when he gets up, last thing at night when he goes to sleep, and he's also thinking about me in the daytime because he cares and he loves me and he misses me and wants to share his life and world with me. And you know, like sharing secrets and everything is very intimate. So part of romance is being intimate with someone that is like emotionally intimate with them, you know, sharing your hopes, your fears, your dreams, your secrets with each other, and sharing things you don't usually share with everyone else with each other is very, very romantic. And you know, if you want to be more romantic, or you know, you could say like, I'm looking forward to kissing you tonight, I'm looking forward to stroking your hair tonight, I'm looking forward to your beautiful face tonight, you know, seeing it. I haven't seen it for so long. I'm looking forward to seeing your cute nose. Or, you know, if you notice little things about a person that no one else notices, say the person you're, you know, romantically involved with, they do this little twitch with their nose, you know. If you notice things like that, the little things, it really is romantic, because it's like you're very engrossed in them, very interested in them. And so you can say, oh, I love it when you do that little nose twitch and I can't wait to see it tonight. You know, that's kind of a very flirty romantic thing. It's not a sexual thing, it's a romantic flirty thing though. You know what I mean? Because it's like saying, you know, I'm going to be looking at you, and you know, you can say, oh, I can't wait to kiss you tonight, I can't wait to hold your hand, I can't wait to see you, can't wait to be in your arms, I think you're beautiful, looking forward to seeing you, honey. See, I'm feeling really romantic just by saying all this now. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I just sometimes wish I could replicate myself, because it's like, yay, the romantic version of me and me. It's great. We'd have so much fun. But I just have to think that I'm romantic with myself and date myself anyway. So I am romantic with me and I love me, because, You know what I mean? I think it's so great when you can say to a person, I can't wait to see you, and you get really excited over seeing them. I think that's so romantic, you know. I can't wait to see you, can't wait to talk to you, can't wait to be in your arms, can't wait to kiss you, can't wait to watch that movie together. So you're enthusiastic about seeing them, you love their looks, you know. I think it's important when you're in a romantic relationship to mention the person's looks, you know. I think it's important you highlight, just because you're asexual doesn't mean to say you can't like someone's looks. I think it's important you say, you're really pretty. I love that dress on you. It looks really pretty on you. Or I love your cute smile. Oh, I love it when you smile at me like that. You're so cute. Do you know what I mean? All this speech, all these things you're saying is complimentary, but it makes the person feel so good, which makes them feel more romance for you, more love, more closeness to you, because people are attracted to people that make them feel good about themselves. People are attracted to people who make them feel wanted, needed, and special. So the more you're like that with the person that you're having a relationship with, the more they'll feel romance for you. Or, you know, you might just, even if you're not romantic, you could still feel really close to that person. You know, if you're with someone who's romantic and you're not romantic, but if a person was doing all that stuff with you, you'd probably feel a really, really strong bond and closeness with them emotionally. And you'd probably love it because you'd feel really loved by the person, really, you know, really admired by the person, really cared for by the person. Because that's what romance is, really. You know, like a platonic relationship can have a lot of these elements in them, but they don't think about them as being romantic, you know. They think about it as just being a really, really amazing relationship, which it is. But a romantic person will come from the view of romance, whereas someone who's not romantic won't. But you could both be doing the same thing. Like someone who's not romantic could be saying to me, oh, I think you're so cute, you look beautiful, you know, and they're appreciating and admiring my aesthetics. But for me, I'm thinking, wow, that's a really cute, cuddly comment to say, you know, that's really sweet. Wow, I love that. Do you see what I mean? So you don't have to be born romantic or even a romantic orientation to improve romantic skills or to understand romance, because you could be romantic naturally without realizing it. And if you understand all these things I've talked about in romance, then you know how to be more romantic naturally. It just comes to you naturally, even if you're not meaning to do that and intending to do that. It's just something you naturally are. So there's, you know, like there's certain people, asexuals, I might be able to be in a relationship with if they were like romantic naturally, even if they don't realize it. Although, you know, overall, I would prefer to be with someone who's romantic and knows it, because I think then there's going to be even more romance. And for a hyper romantic like me, I probably need that. But, you know, if a person's naturally romantic, they just don't think of being romantic, but they naturally are, then I probably wouldn't even notice the difference as much. You know, I'd probably only notice the difference in mindset, you know, which is important though. So, because Couple romantic, for example, is someone, like I said, who desires a romantic relationship despite not being romantic themselves. So, you know, that might work, but I think I would prefer to be with someone who's actually heteromantic or who's demi-romantic and actually falls madly in love with me, because a demi-romantic can only experience romantic attraction when deep emotional bond has been formed. That's only with a handful of people usually in their life. So, you know, I'd like to be one of those special people. That could be really good for me, you know, because I'm a hyper romantic, but I don't think being a hyper romantic is great. I manage it well. I love it. There are a lot of other benefits to it, especially when you're self-dating and, you know, about loving life. And there are a lot of benefits to it, but it also can be very hard as well when you fancy most of your friends or feel some attraction to them. It's a bit annoying because you don't mean to, and it just gets in the way of your feelings of friendship get confused. Well, they don't get confused. The feelings of friendship are there, and then you get other feelings you don't want on top because you're like, they're my mate. I don't want to feel this way about them. Do you know what I mean? So it can be a bit annoying at times. But I love myself for who I am, and it's important to love yourself for who you are. So if you're watching this and you're not romantically inclined, that's fine. But, you know, I know there's some people out there who are asexual who want to learn how to be more romantic. And romance, like I said, is a skill you can learn. So, you know, just like an asexual who has sex with a partner, even though they don't experience sexual attraction themselves, they still have to learn how to have sex. They have to learn where to put their bits, what to do, where to position their hands, where, you know, what precautions they need to take. They need to learn about it, right? Everything needs to be learned, right? It's not just known. And if you're thinking about going to a romantic relationship, which if you're asexual, you might very well be, because you know, out in the big wide world is mostly a heteronormative world, which is sexual attraction plus romantic attraction intertwined with most people. Therefore, you are more likely to get into a relationship with another person who's sexual and romantic than not. So you need to not just learn the skills of how to have sex, but how to be romantic as well, to you know, make that other person happy. If you want to make that other person happy, if you want to be in a relationship with them of your own free will, you know, not forced, pressured, and you want to do those type of things, you need to learn these skills. You know, like my new book for asexuals is, you know, got asexual sex stories, and it's got advice on how to have sex for asexuals, you know, which is a very taboo topic, but it needs to be discussed because loads of asexuals end up having sex because they end up in relationships with sexuals, because you know, that's what the wider population is. And we're only 1%, we call 1% of the population. There's a lot of asexuals that don't have sex, but there's still quite a few who do. So it's important. These skills all need to be learned. And, you know, I hope you found this video useful, helpful, insightful on how to be more romantic. If you've got any questions or comments about it or queries, please leave them down below. You know, I attempt to answer them in between videos. And if you need a specific video doing on a specific area of romance, that would be great. Please write that down below. If you like this video at all, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to share it with any friends or whoever you think may benefit, especially if you're asexual wanting to get into a relationship with a romantic asexual, or you just want to improve your romantic skills. You know, you like, how the heck does this romance thing work? You don't really understand it. And I hope you found this video helpful. You know, share it with someone who's you know, needs help. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that great big bell icon to get notified of every time I go live right now, post a new video. And like I said, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Appreciate it. Until next time, embrace your quirky and each other's, and I'll see you on the next video or live stream. Take care. Bye. Bye.